you know, is not a leaf that falls off of a tree that don't get permission from Allah.
Jalla Jalaluhu.
Everything acts on permission. You know what I mean? And we got to start realizing that Allah is in control. You know, we're not in control. All He wants us to call on Him.
Ivy League. See.
Prophet said prayer, the dua is the weapon of the believer. I believe that. The weapon is your dua. You call on Allah, you know what I mean? Allah don't need you actually to go out there and fight. He really don't. You know? When David faced Goliath, right? He made the dua, right? And that bring this giant down.
I mean, our job is really what I wanted to talk to you about. Because if you have these youngsters, and they're all across the universities now calling for change, calling for there to be elimination of support for this type of situation to where they're even getting arrested. This is unprecedented. And, you know, this is the elimination of discrimination, and it is an elimination of apartheid. That's what the call of this is. This is a call for an establishment of everlasting righteousness and justice and peace instead of war and this violence and this hate you all got going on to increase your pockets. You all are making a lot of money off of this mess. A lot of money off of this mess. So it's like you have no reason not to do it. You know, Shaitan has made it fair seeing for you, and he has made you content with it. He's made you longing for it. He's made you greedy for it. And, you know, enough is enough. Until, you know, you can understand the psychology in how they're able to turn a blind eye onto this, you got to remember where the source is from. They come, and when I say they, I mean slave owners. I mean Constitution writers of that era. They literally believed that slavery would last forever, and they worked on it. You don't have physical slavery today, but you have so many other different types of slavery. Get rid of that. Go back to that. Abolish that completely. Give the rights to those who are entitled to it today. Give the rights back to them. Then you will get rid of all these other, you know, fair-seeing means of slavery. You justifying this, so you claim. And then I was watching a report yesterday on October 7th, and as we had known all along, all those casualties were not done by Hamas.
No, they wasn't.
That's crazy.
No,
and
Israelis
and wait a minute. Wait a second. And you bring people like Elon Musk, you bring people like him, celebrities, to look at the carnage and say, look at what Hamas did. Hamas. You're not even saying their name correctly. Hamas. You know. Look at what they did. They did, and then they showed them cribs, and then they showed them cribs. They just showed them, like, you know, baby cribs, and claiming exactly. I mean, like, literally fabricating lies, and you know that you have people who are supporting. You have elements that are supporting this mess to the core, to the last breath. You know you have that. You better believe it's not just prayer. Prayer, yes, that's part of it. But then you got the adhkar, you got the meditative state, the state of meditation, the state of contemplation. You have the recitation. You have so many other means. You have contemplation. You have consultation. You have istikhara. You have the khalwa. You have so many other means. You understand? And they are all greater than what they're doing. This carnage, this foolishness. How is it that you have all these mosques and centers and all, and you see more non-Muslims? You see people who are like freshly coming on board to support the elimination of apartheid. Aren't you like, I mean, doesn't this kind of like make you wonder, like, exactly what are y'all doing here? Exactly, like, what is your motive? What is your real long-term agenda for being here? You understand what I'm saying? There's no organized block. I mean, there's in what is it? Israeli American lobby, Israeli lobby or whatever.
Israeli lobby.
I mean, look at that. Where's yours? How is it that and there is no formation of oneness and unity? How are you going to do it without unity? How are you going to do it without oneness? It's the message is one. The message
cannot be unified.
the message the message is one, and the message is clear. If we cannot rally behind the message, then we have to accept the fact that we have no message. As long as we realize we have a message, we should all rally behind one message, and that's why the People's Republic of the Shahada is on board. Now, here's what it is that a lot of the young people wake up or are realizing to as they coming to life, to real life. They are able to realize fabrication and lies instead of turning a blind eye onto it. They've opened up like one eye open. They almost they all when you open up the second eye, that's when you start acting upon what your first eye was actually looking at.
So if you just take religion out of it, don't even put Islam in it. You know what I'm saying? People responded to right, wrong.
No,
right is right, wrong is wrong. They just responded to dead wrong. It's dead wrong. You're killing babies. You're starving children in broad daylight. That's gonna make the human spirit erupt.
Brother, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell myself. This is a reminder for myself. This revolution is a Quranic revolution. We are not intending to have deeds that are not going to be beneficial to our everlasting legacy. The one who does righteous deeds, as Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu encouraged the Muslimin, as he said in his sermon, do righteous deeds and your offspring will be taken care of. And if you look at that statement, we leave example. We leave sayings. Anything that cannot be justified by that in which Allah Jalla Jalaluhu revealed, it's only validated by falsehood. Nowhere in the world can we believe that the human being has been able to bring down a system better for the human being than what Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, the Creator, revealed. I wanted to ask you, there's the book, have you heard of the book of Enoch?
No, I heard slightly, but
Okay. You know do you know the Muslim version? Do you know the Quranic version of Enoch?
Idris?
Yes.
That's right, Idris was next one.
Do you know
he went to heaven? I think he went to heaven, took a peek or something like that. Then he go up there and let him in or something like that. And he stayed or something like that. He didn't want to leave. Well, what's the story on that?
But in the Quran, it mentions that he was elevated. Now, I want to say something. Out of all the years that I've heard and known what Christianity and Christians in general believe that the Bible was, out of all, I'm talking, at least 40 years, I've been familiar with the term, all right? And, being a student of theology over the course of at least 25 years, practitioner so many of those years, I have never learned what I have learned of the Bible since learning the book of Enoch, which was excluded from today's Bible, from King James Version. The Ethiopian version, which is older, happens to have it.
Mm-hmm.
But I assure you, if you go to YouTube, just listen, just look up, the book of Enoch. Look up the book of Enoch. What is said about the book of Enoch? Because in the Bible, he's also mentioned to have walked. They're saying he's walked with the Holy One. But the Quranic version is actually very deep, very deep. He had a vision after praying to Allah to raise him from the people who broke their promise to him. They had promised to worship Allah and Allah alone after he proved his divinity. And once that was done, they reneged. And because of that, he prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to remove him from them. Jalla Jalaluhu gave him a dream. And in a dream, he was to go to a certain area, and he would mount on whatever was there. So when he got there, he saw a mount but inflamed, and he got on top of it, and it was the beginning for him to travel with angels and also being able to come back onto the earth for over the course of 10 years. So this is, I suppose, something which you might be interested in looking at from their version, because otherwise very little is mentioned of the Prophet Idris, Enoch.
Also, do a lot of prophets.
Say that again?
You don't mention a lot of prophets.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes. There are many that he does not. There are many that he does not mention by name. There are many that he actually makes.
Too much about.
Right. There are many he makes reference to, but people do not understand that these are prophets he's making reference to. But many ayats, in other words. But as far as the end of his life is known to both versions, though. When he traveled up into the heaven and he wanted to go higher, and at that point he met the angel of death. One who is telling him that I came to take your soul.
Mm-hmm.
And so he says to him, "How can you take my soul when I'm not even on earth?" He said, "That's what I was, wondering the same thing. I was told to come and take your soul in heaven, and I said, he's on earth. But then here I am on the fourth, and here you are." So that's Jalla Jalaluhu's means, That's the situation.
Yeah.
But inshallah,
what you on doing today?
work, lots of work. We have operations going on against Iblisis, very, very, very serious ones. They always think that they can somehow manipulate and co-opt, everything that is going on. So we have to, be on constant readiness and preparedness. There are obviously various components and elements that have to be attended to from the communique perspective. Many people are also in tune at this time and taking counsel with the People's Republic of the Shahada Council. And I think, as we move forward, it's just a matter of time Verily, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most patient and encourages us to be patient and to remain obedient to Him. Everything, suffice us as long as suffice for us is the shahada, inshallah.
Right.
So give my salams to all of the family members, inshallah.
Okay, likewise.
All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.